What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Gaming with the Broscast, episode 124. Yeah, gotta rock the merch, man.
Merch, man.
Episode 124. We've got a lot of news drop this week for some reason, right? We'll talk about Nintendo's Indie World Showcase, and of course, Nick, our favorite time of the year, Nintendo financials.
Oh yeah, numbers. We love numbers here.
And we got some new games we're playing. A surprise game for me that I'll talk about here shortly.
Is Harrison a weeb now?
I am the weebiest weeb. But before we dive into news and gaming and all that fun stuff, Nick, how is your week? You were getting married on Friday. How is it going?
It's going great. We've gotten pretty much everything done. I'm looking at our wedding board right now, and there's only a few sticky notes that haven't been finished. So, man, we're there. We are there. I'm so excited. Can't wait to be married. Yeah. So that's what this weekend was just a lot of like last minute wedding planning. We have like this snack bar that we're gonna have at the wedding. So we got goldfish, cheese balls,
classic,
and then some other candy. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, well, you sent out the groomsmen list. I read through that.
Yeah, the itinerary.
Looks fun.
Yeah,
we're gonna bring my adventure.
Yeah, bring that sense of adventure. Bring that adventure with you. But Harrison, we were just talking, but I know you had a very stressful weekend. So
I'll briefly go over it real quick. Other than that, it was a good week. But last on Mother's Day weekend. My son Kellen, he got like a scratch on his face when we thought maybe he had like cut himself or something while he slept, like his fingernail. But it turned out we thought it was poison ivy because it started to kind of not bubble up, but get a little bit red. So something more than a scratch. So we gave him like some some lotion and stuff like that, and he was fine. It was clearing up, and then on Friday, he had starting to get some spots on his belly and stuff in his hands, and we're like, well, what is going on? Like I guess it was just more poison ivy. Spoilers, it absolutely was. But we gave him some Benadryl that night, and he woke up covered in hives. Like his left side of his face was covered, his like chest and his stomach was covered. His below the waist area, it was covered, so it was kind of gnarly. And we took him to the doctor, and it just took forever for us to get the medicine, some like prednisone. And then we ended up around like 10:30 last night. My wife was like, well, it looks like it's not getting any better. And he'd only had the prednisone in his system for 20 minutes, but we still didn't want to chance it. So she went to the hospital. They didn't have a pediatric doctor on the premises, so they sent us over to another hospital, or her over to another hospital. Okay. They ran tests, but they looked at everything and said it was definitely poison ivy. It wasn't like a reaction to Benadryl, which was what was our main concern, because we didn't want like his throat to close up or something like that. Yeah. But they ended up giving him like 10 milliliters of Benadryl, and they got home at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and he slept till like noon, I think, or 11. And then it looked a lot better. So kind of scary. Just one of those things you go through with having kids. You don't, because they can't exactly tell you what's going on. So it's just one of those scary things, especially with allergies too. It's like, for the most part, you're kind of just winging it until something happens. Until something happens, and hopefully it's nothing insane like a nut allergy or like a shellfish allergy or something like that. But just he had a combination of, there's this area in our woods that has poison oak, poison ivy, and poison sumac, and just the trifecta of poisonous nasty plants got him. Because my wife the other day was like, yes, he was back there shaking, because it's also a honeysuckle tree, so like he was going in there and getting honeysuckles, and I feel like it's kind of a trap.
Honestly, yeah.
So I sprayed my spray, like my my weed killer stuff the best until I ran out. So I'm about to get some more, but for now we're just like don't go in the woods at all. So, but he's doing better. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, the honeysuckle tree. I mean, that's like you're going straight from hand to face.
Yeah.
With that, so it's like no chance you're not going to get it on your face, which is terrible.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I think he was just shaking one of the plants, but yeah, you don't know. You don't know you're touching a poison ivy plant until it's too late, and then you're like, you just touch your body like throughout the day.
Yeah, and suddenly it's all over, and you're like, what the hell is going on?
Probably went inside to go pee or something, and just it was gnarly it was gnarly for a second, but yeah, glad he's doing a lot better.
Nice. Yeah, glad he's doing better.
Yeah.
All right, shall we how you say get the heck into it?
Let's do it, man. Let's get into it. I want to hear about the Stanley Parable, because I too have been interested in this game, and it's a remaster or something like that.
It's like a deluxe edition, and I think this is the first time that it came out on Switch.
Yeah,
and that's where I picked it up. So I don't want to give away too much, because this game is best played not knowing anything going in, and that's kind of how I did it. I just saw that I watched the trailer. I saw that people really loved it, and they were saying like, "Hey, don't look up anything. Just play the game."
Yeah,
and did the basic premise is that you're a guy named Stanley. You're in an office, and you get up from your desk, and everybody is gone from the office. So you're walking around, and there's this narrator that's kind of narrating what you do. And sometimes he'll say something like, "Oh, and then Stanley goes through the left door." And then if you go through the right door, he'll kind of like play off of that.
Yeah.
And try to like rebuild the story in some way. And so it's kind of like playing with the narrator and the narrator's perspective on the story that's being kind of created. But there's a whole lot of dialogue. The narrator is pretty much always talking.
Okay.
Which could be annoying if it wasn't a great narrator, but the guy who did it is really great. And yeah, I probably played maybe 4 hours, and I've gotten a few different. Actually, I've probably gotten like between 8 and 10 endings. Okay. There are a bunch of endings, and I don't know which one is like the real one. I don't know if there is a real one. It's just kind of like these kind of like nonsensical endings to this series of events, to this game, and then you kind of find out like what exactly is happening. But then there's like. I'm sure there's like 20 more endings that I haven't found, just kind of like randomly. But
does Stanley hear the narrator?
Well, Stanley, he's a silent protagonist.
Okay,
so he doesn't really respond. I guess in this instance you are Stanley, so it's not. Yeah, okay. It's not like Stanley is responding to the narrator as he's going through it. But
okay.
But yeah, it's a really interesting game. It is a little bit steep. It's $25, and I haven't gotten to the new content yet. There's like a specific room that I walk by, and it says new content on it, and I haven't gone in it yet. Okay. Because I want to like try to play through everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, $25 might be a bit steep for this game, but I am really enjoying it, and I've gotten a lot of laughs out of it so far. So I would recommend it if anyone is kind of curious. Maybe just look up a trailer, but I wouldn't look up like any deep dives into the game. I would just look up like maybe a trailer and a review or something, and decide for yourself. But it's like it's kind of it's one of those games where it's like just play it, just do it.
Yeah. Okay. I've been curious about it because I remember when it came out back in like 2011 or something like that. So, cool.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But Harrison, so I guess before you jump into the game you've been playing, which I'm very, very excited to talk about, I picked up Rogue Legacy 1 on the Switch.
Okay.
And just kind of played that for like about an hour last night. It's really hard. It's a roguelite, so you can upgrade your character, upgrade their health, damage,
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah, I remember playing. I played it on the PC when it came out, like 10 years ago or something like that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
How'd you like it?
It's cool. Like I know, like every time you die, like you're the next whatever,
the next of kin,
and you like every time you go, you get like a different attribute. Like
like sometimes you're colorblind.
Yeah,
sometimes
colorblind.
You're small,
yeah.
Sometimes you're like super large. Sometimes you just take a bunch of damage. Sometimes you have higher critical levels. Sometimes you only see in 2D.
Yeah.
So when like someone turns left to right, it'll kind of look like Paper Mario when a character turns. Like,
it's really cool.
Yeah. I'm not deep enough in it to like make a substantial like consensus on it yet, but it seems like a fun game. It's just really hard.
Yeah.
It's harder.
It is really difficult.
Yeah. And then I've just been playing a little bit of Triangle Strategy, just kind of continuing through that story. It's a great game so far.
Yeah.
But Harrison, tell the world what you've been playing.
Yeah, so I have been curious about Xenoblade. Xenoblade 3 is coming out, and I've seen a few videos on the game, but I've never actually played it myself. And I started watching this guy. I've been subscribed to him on YouTube for a while, but Player Essence, he's always
the hype man.
Always talking about Xenoblade, like every thumbnail is like some sort of Xenoblade thing. So I started watching a couple of his videos, and then he did like what you should know prior to Xenoblade 3, and I watched it, and I was like, man, I feel like this is my jam. And I went and picked it up. I got it at GameStop for like $40, so I got it used. That way I didn't have to drop 60 on something I may or may not like. But I really like it. It's a turn-based, RPG. Well, not turn-based. It's more like, I guess, like the new Final Fantasy kind of, like it's.
Yeah. What do you call that? It's
like an action RPG, something like that, maybe. Anyways, like you have your move set, like you have your different abilities and stuff, and like your basic attack, and you're kind of controlling it. And they're on like cooldowns and stuff like that. But it's interesting because you have to they'll, depending on whether you're on the side of an enemy or behind them, you get a buff. So you're kind of having to, try to. There's like a one ability that Shulk has where he lowers his aggro, so then you can do that, and they'll target one of your teammates. Excuse me, and then you can get to behind them or to the side of them, and do it off of that. But yeah, I like it so far. I'm about 5.5 hours in. It's pretty difficult. I dropped it down to casual mode just because I don't want to
bang your head against the wall.
Yeah, and there's Nick, you said that there was like some weird difficulty spikes, and I definitely feel that because like the first boss, I was like, man, like this is really hard, and I think I ended up beating it, and then after I beat it, I put it down to casual because I'm like, I'm good. So
yeah, is that like
it's like the spider boss?
Yeah. That one, because I remember playing that on the 3DS as well, and I had no idea like how to play really, but it was really difficult that first battle, and then I don't know. I feel like they don't explain the combat super well because there's like a certain cadence where you want to break them, like you want to like do like I think Shulk has a side attack that breaks the enemy, and then you topple, and then there's one more move that you do. I can't remember.
Yeah, he has like a break ability, and then. And I find like I think you can only really do it like in a chain attack, like so you can chain attacks with other party members. So like you do and I don't know. I don't know exactly what the criteria is for that to happen, but once it does, you hit chain attack, and then you can do like your break stance ability, and then like Ryan, I think is his name, will do his attack, and because the enemy stance is broken, his attack does more.
And
but yeah, it's really interesting. I have no idea what's going on in the story. It's like from like the opening scene, it's like two giant robots like clash together for an eternity or something, and then they both died, and then the world is you living on these giant robots, which is really cool. There's these robots called Mechon that attack you. Then I guess the sword you get is like it can attack, it can like do damage to the Mechons. Yeah, but yeah, it's neat. It's a really neat game. I'll probably finish. I'll probably get through it. I've liked it a lot so far.
Nice. Yeah, the world is one of my favorite settings of any game, just because like the scale of it is so perfect. Like you'll be on like the arm of the Bionis or something, and you can look over and see like the Mechonis. I think it's called the Mechonis. And you're like, damn, like I'm on this giant robot that's in this like infinite clash with this other giant being, and it's crazy. It's so cool. And I don't want to give anything away about Xenoblade 2, but it doesn't do that same exact thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just Xenoblade 1 is just so special. It's such a cool game.
Yeah, it's really cool. And like the sword I was talking about, it's the Monado, and like as you go through the game, like it unlocks different abilities like speed. You can buff a party member for speed. You can give like a buff to your teammates or your allies to where their normal swords can do damage to the Mechons. And then a really interesting mechanic is like you can see in the future. So like while you're in the battle, it'll cut to like one of the enemies either hitting you or like one of your teammates and doing like some pretty significant damage. And if you go up to them in the battle, you can warn them, and then they can do like a special move to counteract what happened. So that's really cool. It's a really kind of a unique mechanic that I haven't seen in any other game. So it's not quite like an action.
It's like an auto attack.
Yeah, it's an auto attack kind of thing, but you can move around. So it's not quite like a turn-based RPG, but all of your stuff is like on cooldown. So it's maybe like a Diablo or something in that kind of way, but not quite the same. I'm just talking in terms of like auto attacking,
right?
And because like if you're far away from an enemy and you're locked on, you can't hurt the enemy. You have to actually be physically next to them. So it's interesting to have to think about moving around, because like sometimes I'll just sit there and spam like my moves, especially on like the weaker stuff, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I can actually move. Let me move and get to the side and have that attack buffed. So yeah, it's really cool. I'm digging the story so far. A lot of cutscenes, but
a lot of cutscenes. Yeah.
It's cool. I like it.
The story, it really comes together at the end. I really did enjoy the story. Once it like all comes together. But I need to go back. I need to go play Future Connected. That's like the DLC for 1 that kind of bridges the gap between 1 and 2. But yeah, man, I'm excited for 3.
Yeah.
3 looks really good. If you finish this, are you planning to play 2?
I think so. So. Because 3 comes out in what, July?
Yeah, it's July.
Okay. So I got some time in.
Yeah. 2 is different. It's a little bit different. I don't think I like the combat system as much. It's kind of got like a gacha system where you're kind of rolling for these creatures that are kind of fighting with you.
Yeah.
And it's really not. It's pretty different from 1. There's still like the auto attacking. And
do you have it on physical?
No, I have a digital.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, yeah.
It's good. I like it so far. It's just the world itself is cool. It does look a little bit rough in spots. It's a port of a Wii game, so I mean it can only look so so good. But
Right.
yeah,
It's crazy that this was a Wii game too.
yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to play more.
Nice.
It's definitely a very interesting game. But that is all I've been playing. I've played a little bit of Halo, but not much.
Not too much.
Yeah, and yeah, that's it.
Did you catch Master Chief clapping some cheeks last week?
I did. Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but it was it as awkward as it sounds, or was it pretty tastefully done?
I mean, he walks into the room and they start like making out, and I mean, it wasn't like super awkward, but it was because Cortana's like watching it, so yeah. She makes it like a thing. She's like, "Oh, his vitals are jumping up or something,"
or I think penis is erect.
And that's what Halsey says, and then Cortana's like, "Yeah, it's something." But yeah, Master Cheeks, clap him, man. I love it. Good for him, man.
Was his suit on at all, or did
no suit? It actually was. He just there was just one spot in his crotch that he just removed. No, it was. No, Chief has not been in his suit. Like I think he's only been in the suit like two times this season. It's kind of crazy.
Cost too much money,
I guess. But I really think that the show, because I don't know how many episodes are left. I think maybe 1 or 2 more.
I think this is the penultimate.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, either like Reach is going to fall like it normally does, in the books and the games and stuff, and then they'll get to Halo, and that's when it'll really, the show will really start. So, yeah, I liked it. It's cheesy in some places, but for the most part, it's been pretty solid. It was way better than I thought it was going to be. So,
Master Cheeks,
man,
absolute madman, just a bad boy over here,
just clapping,
just clapping cheeks. All right, let's get into some news.
All right, yeah. So, Starfield and Redfall got delayed. So Xbox is out this year. They have nothing else.
They're officially tapped out.
Did they really have nothing else? Is that? I mean, unless we get some news in June.
Well, there's they're kind of in a tough spot because Stalker 2 is one of their games, and with everything going on,
that got delayed to 2023, didn't it?
Well, it kind of got delayed indefinitely since they're based out of Ukraine. And Atomic Heart, that's another game that was supposed to come to Xbox, but it's a team based in Moscow, Russia.
Okay.
So I think there's some issues going on there. So that could be delayed as well. And then, what else is coming out? Like Scorn. That's one of those games that was shown off. That's supposed to be coming out this year. And then, a few other smaller titles, like Slime Rancher 2. But nothing on the same caliber as Starfield or even Redfall.
I had a feeling that it was going to happen.
When they didn't show anything ever?
Yeah. So I guess, do they even show anything at E3 now or for Summer Games Fest, or do you think they show it and just?
Well, I think they do. I think they should. I think what they should have done is shown a really amazing trailer and then said, "Hey, we need a little bit longer."
Yeah, say
to get those bugs out.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was kind of weird. I feel like they should have just waited, but that being said, I think we'll get some DLC news for Halo. I think we'll get some campaign stuff.
Okay.
Maybe like some sort of tease for campaign DLC. Which co-op still isn't here, so I don't know. That's in poor taste. Point? Hey, here's some awesome campaign stuff, but you still can't play it with your friends.
Yeah, it's kind of bogus.
Yeah, so we'll see. You did do a Twitter poll, but I also think God of War is probably going to get delayed as well. But we'll see about that one.
I think it will, unless something changes in the next month. If we don't hear anything in the next month, I think it's getting delayed. Yeah, so what was supposed to be like a banger of a year, and it still is.
Thanks to Nintendo, they've been
Thanks to Nintendo, who's been just carrying the flag, them and FromSoft.
yeah.
But yeah, like we were supposed to have Zelda, we were supposed to have Starfield, we were supposed to have. I mean, we didn't know if Redfall was going to be good, but we are supposed to have Redfall in the summer.
Yeah.
Like that got delayed from summer to next summer, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Like first half of next year. That's a wide gap.
Yeah.
And then what? We might get like a new Forza Motorsports game,
Maybe.
but I mean, are you excited for that?
Forza?
Yeah.
No, I think I have my fill with Horizon 5, and
Yeah.
I haven't played that since Halo came out. So, and it was a good game. I'm just not. I'm not a racing guy, so I'm only gonna play that game so much, and I got my 7 or 8 hours out of that game, whatever. So
That weekend before the Halo launch.
yeah, pretty much. So, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm still excited for the showcase. I think we'll get some good stuff, but yeah, it's a bummer that there's really nothing else coming from Xbox this year.
I think what it's going to be is it's going to be all Game Pass stuff.
Yeah,
like some big titles coming to Game Pass. I don't know which ones, but like there better be some heavy hitters coming. Or
I think we'll get. They'll talk about Deathloop coming to Game Pass at some point. I think Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to come to Game Pass. So
okay,
we'll see. I don't know.
But that's not
unless Sony buys Square. That probably won't happen, but we'll see.
Could happen. Yeah, really could happen.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's just kind of sad. Like without Bethesda, I mean, Xbox really wouldn't have had anything this year. And now, even with them, they got nothing.
Yeah, we may get like a Gears announcement or something, like the next Gears of War. I don't think it won't come out this year, but maybe we'll get some news on that. I don't know.
Which I'd be really excited for.
Gears 5 was amazing.
That cliffhanger ending.
Yeah, Gears 5 was really good.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, so more delays with every game that's announced. There's another 2 games that are delayed. So
pretty much.
And speaking of announced games, well, I guess not announced, but Dead Space Remake is coming January 27th, 2023, and the full reveal is coming around Halloween.
Yep.
So
yeah, I'm excited. This game looks, from all the kind of tech demos they've been showing off and fan feedback and stuff like that, it looks really good, and I cannot wait to play it because Dead Space, the original Dead Space was, they're all really good,
top
but
tier.
was awesome. Yeah, it was such a unique game for the time.
Yeah, no HUD.
Yeah, no HUD.
No HUD,
amazing.
Man. Yeah,
they
showed some screenshots or showed some art for like some of the weapons, like the plasma cutter.
Yeah,
and
how it looks different from then and now.
Yeah, they look really cool. I'm super excited for this.
Yeah, it looks really good. AMC is picking up the rights to the Alan Wake TV series, and Remedy, the developer for Alan Wake, is in collaboration with that. So, AMC's done like The Walking Dead and some other shows. So I feel like they're pretty good with what they've put out, and I feel like this series makes sense to go on the AMC.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Like Alan Wake was already kind of like a weird TV thing anyways, like it's a strange game, but we'll see. It could be cool.
Yeah, this could be a really good TV show, I think, because it's kind of like, what's that weird, I won't be able to think of it. But anyways, they also announced that Alan Wake Remastered is coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
and it's a native version. It's not cloud-based anymore, or it's not cloud-based. Yeah, it's weird that everyone has to specify that after Kingdom Hearts. Like, oh,
Yeah.
it's not a cloud game. It's actually coming to the Switch. It's not some bullshit little thing here. But
yeah, I'm glad it's not cloud based. That just that doesn't make any sense. This game's gonna absolutely run on the Switch. But
what, Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah,
Kingdom Hearts 1, 2?
Yeah, for sure.
Probably even 3. 3 doesn't look amazing. I mean, it could probably run fine on the Switch.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't like Control was who knows. And then we got a 505 games showcase coming next week on the 17th on Tuesday. This is like their first ever kind of showcase. They're doing like a live stream on I believe on YouTube. But for those that do not know, 505 is like they published like Death Stranding and Control and some other stuff. So
What do you think is going to get announced here?
I have no idea. Maybe Alan Wake 2. Maybe they show some stuff off there from that. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no idea what they.
Did they say when that's going to come out? Did they say 2023 for that one?
I don't know if they gave a date for it.
Okay.
But it's at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Or no, sorry, 9 a.m. Eastern time over on their YouTube channel. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know exactly what they're going to show off, but
Control 2.
Maybe Control 2, maybe Alan Wake 2, something like that.
Quantum Break 2.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. I think Microsoft owns that IP, don't they?
Oh yeah, they do. That's rough.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see what comes out of it.
Yeah, we'll see. We're getting close to the E3 timeframe, or should I say, what is it called? No, it's not E3 anymore. It's Jeff Keighley's
Summer Game Fest.
Jeff Keighley's Summer's Game Fest.
Yeah, it starts the 9th, so we're less than a month away.
Damn
that. So I'm excited. And then next up we got Nintendo's Indie World Showcase reveals.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't remember a single thing that was announced aside from the Crab Dark Souls game.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like people lost their mind over this one and I'm like, I don't understand like the hype, like coming from these things. I get it's Nintendo. I get, and at this point, I don't think Hollow Knight will show up on an indie. I think it's going to be a main line like direct, because it's. I think it's just so big that it warrants that. Yeah,
I guess. But where is Sports Story? I mean, like they just, I don't know, man. The games that they showed in the sizzle reel looked more interesting than the games that they did deep dives on.
Yeah,
and it didn't make any sense. I don't think the presentation worked.
Yeah, like that golf game looked kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're usually in these showcases, there's usually one or two games for everyone. But or you can find something that you like. In this one, I just didn't see anything that really caught my attention.
No.
So
yeah,
it was kind of boring. It was really boring. It was like
boring.
20 minutes, but when they said, after they did the sizzle reel, and they're like, all right, that's it. It's like, really? You're gonna end on that? Like
no, one more thing. You're anything.
like Gunbrella looked cool.
Yeah,
they had like that Ooblets game that looked kind of interesting. So I mean, there was some okay stuff. Silt looked pretty cool, like that diving game or whatever. It's like in black and like really black and
Oh, right.
like black and grays and
the
stuff.
underwater limbo looking game.
Yeah. I thought Tabs or Totally Accurate Battle Simulator looked kind of weak. I don't know.
Well, that's on Game Pass.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
And then like I just could not care anything about like that We Are OFK game, like about the band or whatever. Just
right, which they spent a lot of time on.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Another Crab's Treasure. That was the one that I was talking about. The
Okay.
Crab Souls like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looks pretty cool. But
yeah, it was probably the weakest indie world I can remember in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it is what it is. We'll be getting a direct next month, so you know, maybe we'll see Hollow Knight there. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they'll have one ready.
I don't know if Hollow Knight. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's even going to come out at this point.
Oh, it's coming out.
But the thing is, when it does, it's going to be a shadow drop.
You think it will be?
I know it is. I know it's going to be a shadow drop.
You think it will be? What makes you think that?
I don't know. I just have a feeling.
Okay, we'll see.
It's like imagine like just the pure hype level. With every direct, it's an all-time high for Hollow Knight.
Yeah,
everyone's already watching for it. All they have to do is say, "Hey, it's out," and everyone's going to buy it. Everyone who's played Hollow Knight, even people who are just like who've seen all the discourse around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy when it happens, when it shadow drops.
Well, it may be shadow dropping next month then at the direct. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. So yeah, another lackluster, indie world showcase. Again, I think it's probably the weakest one that I've remembered in a long time. But, what can we do?
What can we do?
So I think it was sometime last week or earlier this week. I mean, like Amazon, Walmart, I think Target all dropped their price to $260 for the Nintendo Switch. And then within a few minutes, I think it got reversed. So I don't know if people that actually ordered those I guess they probably would have to give them that price or whatever. I'm not quite sure if they honored it or just gave them their money back. So it has a lot of people speculating that maybe the Switch will drop in price to this. Maybe they'll reveal it next month that they're direct and say, hey, we're dropping the down to $260. I don't know if that means the OLED. I doubt the OLED's going to drop, but maybe the Switch Lite drops as well. That seems a little weird to have like the Switch Lite at $200 and then have this just at $260. That price difference doesn't make sense to me. But so maybe they drop that down to like, $170 or $150, something like that. So we'll see. And then I think it's probably they'll probably just gonna phase out the base Switch and replace it with the OLED at some point, and then just have the OLED and the Lite.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense to me, because it doesn't really make sense to have 3 models right now, like
especially with the difference between all 3 of them not being that much, in terms of like tech specs.
I mean the OLED and the base model are the exact same thing, other than just the OLED. So
right. I played on an OLED at Best Buy the other day.
Yeah,
it looks really good, man. I booted up Kirby.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks really good. If I see one, I might buy it. Might do it. Might pull the plug. Pull the trigger. Not pull the plug. Sure. Pull the trigger.
I think it's on.
I don't think it's on Amazon.
No, I think it is actually. I was just looking at it.
Oh shoot. But yeah, as far as the Switch price drop to $260, I think that makes sense for this year. And just kind of like skipping ahead a little bit to talk about Nintendo's financials, they're forecasting that the Switch is going to sell less this year than it did last year. And a good way to kind of like counteract that natural decrease in demand for the Switch is to do that price drop. So
yeah, I mean, the Switch has never had a price decrease in the States. They did have like the European one for like, I think it's like a $30 difference or something like that. So yeah, I mean, what we're going into, on its
sixth year,
right? Is it?
Yeah, because it's 5 years old now.
Yeah, so yeah, next year it'll be its 6th year. So
and yeah, I mean, no price drop. That's crazy.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that makes sense. As everybody has a Switch at this point now, just about like if for people that don't, say, hey, here, or someone's looking to double dip or something, and this is a good time to go ahead and do that. So I think they'll probably announce that at the Direct next month. Or next week,
so
or this, whatever,
or whenever they want.
Yeah,
whenever they want to pick up a phone and tweet something out.
Yeah, their little Twitter directs.
Yeah, the old Twitter direct.
So, yeah, I could definitely see that coming at some point in the next month or so. Nick, you want to read the next one? Yeah.
So our boy Elden Ring,
our game of the year, Elden Ring.
Our current and final game of the year 2022 is doing pretty well. Sold 13.4 million copies in its first month. And just for comparison's sake, I think Sekiro only sold 5 million copies overall.
Yeah.
I think Bloodborne was around that as well, maybe a little bit less. Granted, that was a PlayStation exclusive. And then I think Dark Souls 3, I think that one's sitting at like 10 million. And that's after like 5 years. So, dude, Elden Ring doing this in a month.
That we don't know what the numbers look like after like April and May, so it's probably well above that at this point. But yeah, good for Elden Ring, man. It absolutely deserves it. I think just I don't know, maybe word of mouth, like just all the TikToks and stuff of just I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, it's like because I remember back when Cyberpunk came out, CD Projekt was saying that Cyberpunk sold like 13 million in its first 2 weeks or something like that. And then when they released their financials or something like that earlier this year, I think total sales for Cyberpunk were only around 18 million.
Oh, okay.
The word of mouth just completely killed the sales track of that game.
Yeah.
But with Elden Ring, by the end of this year, it would probably top like 20 plus million, just based off of like what you said, like word of mouth. Like,
like
everybody's playing it. Even the people who like only pick up Call of Duty every year, who only pick up FIFA.
Yeah, it's just it's part of the zeitgeist. It's like Animal Crossing went through the similar thing, and just. I mean, for like a month, you could not, like every other TikTok video was Elden Ring and that middle of the night song or whatever. So everybody's showing off their sweet loot and mommy Ronnie.
Honestly, it was such a great time.
It was first month.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah, it's an incredible game. So hats off to Elden Ring for its sales.
And we have another success story here, and this one I didn't really see coming, but Lego Skywalker Saga, which came out, I think it came out sometime last month. Yeah. It had the Lego series highest launch month sales ever.
Wow.
And it's sitting between Arceus, which sold about 11.6 million as of Q1 2022, and it's sitting between that and Elden Ring in terms of like total sales for this year. So probably sitting at about like 12 million copies, which is pretty spectacular.
I mean, people love like the Lego games, and people love Star Wars, so this one's got everything. Every episode, every movie. So yeah. I mean, it's probably a good value for what it is. I've even thought about picking it up, but
I think I'm gonna wait. But it looks really good. I'm really happy for that series. That they've been working on this game for a long time, right?
Yeah.
It's been years.
Yep.
So yeah, good for them.
And then last topic is the Nintendo financials. Nick.
Oh yeah, this
is
let's
hear it.
The year-end financials. They have a March 31st year-end. So these financials are for March 31st, or from April 1st, 2021 to March 31st, 2022. So let's start off with Switch sales. So the Nintendo Switch has topped over 107 million units.
Like third all time right now, right? For units sold.
Third all time for their major systems.
Okay.
It's behind the Game Boy, which is at 118.69 million, and then the DS, which is at 54 million. So it sold 23 million this year, and that's between the regular Switch, which sold 13.6 million, the OLED, which sold 5.8, and then the Lite, which sold 3.7.
Okay.
And I think they're forecasting almost another 20 million in the next year. But with like shortages, could fluctuate.
Right.
Let's see, what else do we have
before we move on, Nick, I want to ask you a quick question. With the just incredible sales of the Switch overall, do you think whatever their next console is, do you think they keep Switch in its name? Do you think it's going to be like the Switch 2 or something like that?
I don't think they will. I want them to. But Nintendo doesn't really make the same console twice.
Yeah. But I mean, like to move, like, you've got the 3DS, like, the DS, and then moved over to the 3DS. You've got Game Boy, which went to color, Game Boy, Advance, SP. So they do keep their names and kind of iterate on the previous generation. I think Nintendo has just nailed the hybrid system for what they're going for. I think they've nailed it. Obviously most people just want like a power boost for the Switch itself, but I think it'd be crazy for them to not just call it the Switch 2 or
Super Switch or something.
Super Switch or something like that. Just unless they have some crazy new drastic shift from what the Switch is, and maybe that's what they want to do. I have no idea, but I just think it'd be kind of crazy not to. But
yeah, I really, really hope they do, because you're right. They've nailed it. Like, I don't want them to really do anything. I don't want them to do anything too iterative aside from increasing the hardware or increasing like the tech specs.
Yeah.
Making it just a better console overall, making it run better, all that stuff. Like, I don't think they need to do anything else. They just make it compete with the Series X, and they really don't have to make it compete, because it's kind of like in a league of its own right now. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know whether I don't even know how long the Switch has left in its life cycle, because it's still selling 20 million every year, which is kind of
people
crazy.
say like the Switch Pro or whatever is going to be launching with Zelda. That's kind of the rumor. So that'd be 6 years. So I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I just love having the option to play handheld. It's just
right. It's too good to pass up.
Yeah.
But that would just be it would be so confusing to have another pillar of the Switch hardware lineup, because that would be 4. That'd be the OLED.
Yeah, I don't think
Switch,
whatever we get,
Pro.
I don't think we'll get a Pro or whatever. I think it'll just be the next thing.
And I think it'll be backwards compatible. I think you'll be able to play, like, if this does happen, you'll be able to play your Switch 1, your OG Switch games on the Switch 2, but it'll just be more powerful, better resolution, better battery.
I don't think Nintendo can get away with not having backwards compatibility anymore.
Yeah.
Whether it's something in the cloud or something like that. Even if they use like a different form factor, but if it's going to be like the Switch family or whatever, it'll use the cartridges. So yeah, I don't think whatever their next thing is, they have to have backwards compatibility at this point. It's just ridiculous. So
right. I agree. Yeah, I think they need it. And yeah, I don't think the Switch is near the end of its life cycle yet.
No, I don't think so.
With all of the big games that are still coming out, with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Bayonetta 3, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Zelda, Metroid Prime 4, maybe Metroid Prime Remake, like still got a lot of like heavy hitters in the chamber. Whereas you knew the 3DS was ending when they were putting out like WarioWare Top 100, Mario Party Top 100, Luigi's Mansion 1, like Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story 3DS, like all those games. You're like, okay, this is the end of the life cycle. They're kind of like getting these final games out.
Yep.
Should put them on the Switch.
I don't know why Luigi's Mansion isn't on the Switch at this point.
Yeah,
like it's crazy.
It should be.
And Dark Moon, which is crazy. But whatever. All right, let's continue on with the financial. Sorry to go off topic.
So this is kind of a sad fact, but the total hardware sales for the Switch have surpassed the total software sales for the Wii U.
My God. I mean, not surprising, but yeah, that is kind of sad.
Yeah, because I think the Wii U had like 105 million software sales, something like that, which means that each owner, on average, bought about 9 games.
Okay. I was well under that. I think I only bought like 3 games for the Switch or for the Wii U.
What'd you buy? Splatoon, Zelda. Oh, did you buy Splatoon, Twilight Princess, and Wind Waker?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. Was it worth it?
Yeah, it was great.
Splatoon alone was probably worth it. All right, let's look at some software numbers. So, Metroid Dread, kind of the big question for this quarter is are they going to hit 3 million?
Yeah.
Is it going to be the best-selling Metroid game in the franchise? The answer to the second question is yes. It's the best-selling game in the entire Metroid franchise, which is kind of crazy. Yeah,
crazy.
So Prime was like the previous bestseller at 2.8 million, and Metroid Dread is sitting at 2.9. So we can probably safely assume that it's past 3 million sales at this point.
Yeah. But I'm sure it has.
Yeah, but that won't be confirmed until their next set of financials. Maybe we don't exactly know. Pokemon Legends Arceus is sitting at 12.64 million units. I think I said 11 million earlier, and that was wrong. But they're at 12.6. Yep, which is pretty good. Pretty good. It's pretty close to Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which is sitting at 14.65.
Nice. That's way better game. So.
Yes, it is. What else do we have? Oh, Kirby the Forgotten Lands. That sold 2.1 million in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then let me see if they have any figures past March 31st. I think currently sitting at 2.65 million. Well, it's probably past that. That was through March 22nd.
Okay.
So 2.65 million. Mario Kart 8 shifted another like 10 million copies over the past year.
It doesn't have Mario Kart at this point. Jeez.
I know. Ring Fit Adventures has sold 14 million.
Crazy.
Yeah. Skyward Sword sitting at just about 4 million.
4 million total?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought that would sell more. But
yeah, I guess it
is a remake.
Yeah, it's a remake. That's kind of like the notable items here.
What's Breath of the Wild at?
That one's at let's see, 26 million.
Okay.
Smash is at 28. Animal Crossing is at 38.
About a quarter of Switch owners have Zelda.
Yeah. And about a little under half have Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And they confirmed Bayonetta 3 for 2022.
Okay.
They said that Advance Wars is still TBA.
Okay.
Zelda is 2023. And then they didn't really say anything aside from that in terms of like any unannounced games. So currently their lineup that they had on here is Switch Sports, Mario Strikers, Fire Emblem Warriors, Monster Hunter Sunbreak, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Splatoon 3, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and then Bayonetta 3 for just a general 2022. So we don't know exactly when that's going to come out, but
is Kirby the best-selling Kirby game in the franchise now?
I don't think it's the best selling. It's the fastest selling.
Fastest selling. Okay.
Yeah. I think it will go on to be the best selling.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I think that's it. There were 39 million sellers in fiscal year 2022. 26 of them were Nintendo titles and 13 were other publishers. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Stuff just sells on Switch. It doesn't matter what it is. It just sells.
Yeah, I think people need to learn that they just need to put stuff out on Switch. Like you shouldn't. Don't take the exclusivity deal with Microsoft. Don't take the deal with PlayStation. Just you're gonna sell more games on the Switch because it's a handheld. Yep. Because people love indie games on the Switch. Just don't take that deal, man. Don't take that deal.
Take it.
Yeah, those are Nintendo's financials. I might have missed some stuff, so apologies, but yeah.
Big one's out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so excited. I'm just glad Metroid sold well, and is the best selling in the franchise, so we can get more from them because Dread was amazing. There's
no excuse now. There's no excuse not to put out any more Metroid games.
Yeah, I just hope we get a Prime either remake or Prime trilogy or something, just so we can play those games this year, hopefully. So
yeah, at this point I'd be fine with just a Prime 1 remake. Yeah.
Nintendo's just been killing it. They pretty much held down the fort for this year and beyond. So it's been good. It's
smart.
It's good to be a Switch owner.
Yeah.
It's always stuff to play. But yeah, that is going to wrap up the news here. And Nick, anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up the show?
I guess I'll be gone. I'll be gone next week.
Yep, you'll be gone. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the Solo Dolo podcast and just, to see what happens if there's, some crazy news or something. I'll talk about that or something along those lines. So, I'll probably do that. I may test out Discord or something else just because I think we're going to try to move away from Zoom, maybe just with their new way they have their free software, but we'll see.
I do have a bit of an entangle about this coming week.
Okay, what are you feeling?
I don't know, man. Just like kind of maybe a small announcement that they just tweet out, but I think there's something coming.
Something brewing? Well, what kind of announcement? You think like a new game or?
I don't know. It could be this, could be that.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I don't know, but if it happens, you heard it here first.
Well, we're gonna have to trademark that term.
the Nintingle.
Yeah, I'll get a little Nintingle this week. Now that you said that, I did feel something early. No.
Something. I think a breeze came through, and I think that was the Nintingle.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
see.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, if something happens, you can follow us on Twitter at GamingWTBros. You can follow us on TikTok at Gaming with the Broscast. You can follow us on you can follow us on Twitch at Gaming with the Broscast. Sorry. You can follow us at email or on email at gamingwiththebroscast@yahoo.com. And you can email us any questions you have.
Yeah.
Let us know what Nintingle you've been having lately. And
yeah, and then we've also got a Discord too if you want to join that. We are, I think, at whenever you get back with your honeymoon and stuff, we'll probably plan on doing some sort of like, either we're gonna do it on the show and have you guys call in, or maybe we'll set up like, maybe we'll set up like a game night or something and play like some Mario Party or something with everybody. That could be really cool. So maybe we'll do something like that and incorporate like the Q&A, and you could call in on Discord and be on the show for a couple minutes. That'd be cool.
I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we will. You will see me next week
for the solo dolo.
For the solo dolo, if I decide not to do it, I'll tweet it out. But yeah, I'll figure something out and roll with it. It'll probably be a lot shorter show. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Nick, at this time next week, you will be a married man, getting ready to head onto or be on your honeymoon. So yeah. Exciting times.
Can't wait.
Exciting times.
Can't wait.
All right, guys. We will see y'all next week.
See y'all next week.
Adios.